Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here, welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. Thank you so much for coming by to the stream, I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. Tiger Reaper, congratulations on being first today. Kieran, thank you so much for the sleep, this redeem, and for the stretch to start off our day. An excellent start. So today, we're going to finish this game on stream. But first, we're going to finish up this last wave of side quests that just popped up at the end of the previous stream. So we have Odin's powers now, and we also destroyed the last Mother Crystal, so all we really have left is that last dungeon. Now, I've been thinking about my setup, and I think it worked pretty well at the end of the stream. Using Giga Flare as like my big attack. And I think I'm going to stick with this. Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan. As much as I like Odin and I think he's cool, I don't think he really jives with my playstyle. Hey, Yusunoha, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Also, I feel dumb because I just realized this too. I thought I was done with the center wheel here. Like, I've just been juggling my skills based on whatever I'm equipping. I didn't realize that I wasn't done with the center wheel. I thought I was. I mean, this one is an attack that I'm not planning to get, but I didn't realize that I didn't upgrade my limit break gauge, which is fine because most of the time I only use it during enemy stagger, and it lasts me just long enough for the stagger anyways. But let's upgrade it. I have the points. Now I should have 4 gauges of it. I might as well upgrade my Titan block. I don't really use it, but it is equipped on my UI, so I might as well. So as far as side quests go, so I have 1 or more at the reading table. Looks like there's 4, 5, 6 of them over here. And then on the world map, we have at least 3. We might have more. Okay, so let's start by doing all the ones at the hideaway, and then we'll do the ones outside the hideaway. Okay, so there's 2 here. So most of these are going to get us things for the Hall of Memories, or the Wall of Memories for Clive's room. And a lot of these are going to be like the final side quests for a lot of these NPCs that have been giving us like subplots. In case you haven't noticed, your poor hound spends all his time of late on the rear deck whimpering like Gav in his cups. Something ain't right and my gut tells me it's not to do with his supply of antelope bones. Karen.
What is it this time, Torgal?
Gotta get something for our good little boy. In search of a lost tome. Oh, Vivian. I was wondering why she hasn't had any side quests for us yet, because she seems like a more important hideaway member. Reluctant as I am to add to your burdens, I would ask your aid in a personal matter, albeit one that may be beneficial to your cause. There exist ancient texts deemed so injurious to modern thought that mere possession is deemed a crime, and it was a chance encounter with one such tome from a distance that sparked within me the scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. I wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text. Should you require further incentive, know I am willing to offer compensation for services rendered. Vivian. Well, Vivian, are you sure you don't want a copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell? I heard that worked out really well for a couple other scholars, you know?
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
An inconvenient truth. Okay, I'm glad there was only 2 on the reading table. Maybe I'll check with Torgal first.
Say what you will.
Hey, boy.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago.
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
Heartache, like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Karen.
Wait. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
Where does he want me to go? It just says follow Torgal. Okay, I'll follow him until we leave the hideaway, and then I'll stop to pick up the other quests. I want at least a little bit of continuity.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
I don't like how, I mean, obviously no one likes how the sky is all purple and ominous, but every time I talk to people with the natural lighting, you can see like the weird purple glow like ebbing in and out. You're set on this plan of yours then? Oh, this is the first time that they had text boxes for Clive in a side quest. I am. You never were one to shy away from a fight. Some might say it runs in the family. Ha! Your father would be proud.
Thank you, Uncle.
I know he'll be with us up there.
As for down here,
You may take comfort in the knowledge that the realm will be in my capable hands until your return. Ha ha ha. Indeed. It's so weird to see text boxes for Clive that are unvoiced.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many, but in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes, but such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
Hey Ash! Hey Ditsinal, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Yeah, maybe I'll do these quests like 3 at a time.
The hour fast approaches. My decision is made.
And I shall carry you and your brother to Origin, that the Lesage name may live on in honor, not in infamy. Even if I should not... Your Highness, you're not...
You said it yourself.
This is a journey from which I may not return, yet I am resolved to go. Ultima took much from me, and he means to strip us all of what little we have left.
He must be stopped.
Whatever the cost.
He must.
Thank you, Your Highness. You are as over-hasty as your brother. Save your thanks for when this is over.
I await your word.
I'm surprised that you don't have a side quest for me. Yeah, it's the Fire Emblem style of voice acting. They only say like the first word or the first half sentence of the line, and then they just stop.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'll be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but... But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated. Clive. Well, Clive?
Are you resolved to brave the coming battle no matter the cost?
I am.
For only with Ultima's death might we ever find true freedom. When we do, I'll be counting on you to help teach the world the truth.
Naturally.
But I'll need you to do something for me in return. Come back to us in one piece. For how am I to recount the true history of the world without a first-hand account of the heroics of those who fought to change it?
I shall...
We shall all be praying for your safe return.
Till next you need me.
Wait, is that Oscar? Oh no, that's Nazaire. Poor Oscar.
Something about
Just forgotten.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Hippocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword.
It's the secret book
They
police.
lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. Ah, yes.
You've arrived at a solution then. Dion will carry us.
Indeed.
A feat befitting the final act. I congratulate myself that I shall live long enough to see it, a feat in itself for a man of my years. But to be serious, it is no small thing to march against fate, Clive. You must be certain of your footing, lest the winds of destiny divert you from your course. Are you certain of your footing, Clive? I am.
Then go.
Do what you must. Hey Hikaru, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by today.
I have a few new notes that might interest you. What subject shall we consider today?
I wonder if we have anything new on Ultima. Oh yeah, there's actually quite a bit. Well, thank you so much for the stretch. Okay, so I think we read this one. Well, I guess we might as well read all of them. Another worldly being that Clive encountered in the inner sanctum of Drake's head. He addressed Clive as Muthos before attempting to merge their consciousnesses. However, Clive was able to summon the will to resist the creature, before Joshua returned from the dead to imprison it in a cage of flame that he sealed away in his own heart. He means to claim Clive as his vessel, Muthos, by purging his will, a will strengthened by the ties of consciousness that bind Clive with others. He unleashes primogenesis upon the world, shrouding it in darkness and turning thousands Akashic. These ties of consciousness might at last be loosened. Ultima requires a vessel in which to inoculate his disembodied soul, and Clive's curious ability to absorb the powers of other icons suggests he is the very Muthos that Ultima has long awaited. He wills Clive to absorb the other icons that his vessel might be perfected. But again, I don't understand why they just leave out Leviathan. Ultima doesn't care about Leviathan either, I guess. I mean, obviously it's probably like a development thing, but... The creature King Barnabas of Waloed worships as his god. Ultima requires a vessel in which to inculcate his disembodied soul, and Clive's curious ability to absorb powers of other icons suggests... Okay, this is the same rest of the sentence. One of a race of ancient godlike beings, it was their creation of magic that led to the rise and spread of the Blight. The few survivors of the race fleeing to the unspoilt land of Valsia to attempt to remake the world. For this, they created the Mother Crystals to harvest huge amounts of ether and sowed the seeds of humanity that they might one day produce a vessel strong enough to channel it, that the humans would one day develop wills of their own they did not foresee. A vast structure that lay dormant beneath the crystalline dominion for countless centuries. When Ultima's scheme reached its final stages, it was summoned from the depths, sowing untold destruction, leaving bleak black skies in its wake. It eerily resembles a Mother Crystal.
You are always welcome, Clive.
See, that's what I was saying too. They keep mentioning Muthos, and then in the last stream, Ultima mentioned Logos. It is Xenoblade too. Okay, let's start with Torgal's quest. Oh, there's a chest here.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
Wait, are you saying that's the exact same rowboat and it's been there for years and years and no one's come and claimed it and used it? Oh, we actually get to walk around here.
Changed it all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you.
Well, then start sprinting, Clive.
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
Oh.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love.
Aw.
Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here?
Aw.
My sparring sword. Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming.
Aw. Why is there a chest of 10 sharp fangs in my old treehouse? What games am I planning on streaming after FF16? I have a few things on the schedule. I want to finish the last episode of Umaneko. We're going to be playing Spider-Man 1, so we can stream it before Spider-Man 2 comes out. And I also still want to do Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, which I've already played before, but I don't have a Let's Play of it, and I already did 999. So I promised I'd do that eventually. We'll see. October I want to do Scary Games month, so it depends on what takes us to the end of September.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Oh, that was a nice side quest. You got the charred sparring sword. Oh, remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. Rodney Murdoch. Ooh, increases Torgal's attack potency. Nice. We're gonna do them in order. So we're gonna do... Now we're gonna go to Randala. Guess this will be the closest one. I wonder if Eloise has anything new to say.
It's good to see you.
Oh man. Ask about Eloise and Theodore's past.
When we fled our childhood home,
We left behind not only our family fortune, but the names our parents gave us. I became Eloise and my brother Theodore. We had nothing to our new names but a hatred of the system that would have seen my brother enslaved. But that hatred also gave us a purpose. We swore to save not only Theodore, but others like him. In order to make good on this ambition, we would need two things: money and trust. We found work and saved the money we needed to begin buying bears their freedom. We told them that their lives were their own. They could stay with us, and we would feed them and house them and pay them for their labor. Or they could leave. We'd grant them safe passage to wherever they wished to go. Thanks for the frog, CB. In that way, we engendered trust. Once earned, that trust provided nigh unshakable, so much so that most chose to stay with us. But it was always Theo that trusted the most. They loved him.
I loved him.
And I shall continue his work. Our work.
Did I tell you?
Did I tell you I found a map of Cashlock among Theo's things? He had written some words in the boundary. A new dream for when the nightmare ends.
That was what he wanted.
An end to the torment that bears the realm over have long been forced to endure. A new beginning. Theo lost his life in pursuit of that dream. It falls to those of us who remain to see if it lives
No
on.
matter how hard it might be.
Or how long it might take, I will make his dream a reality.
The Dominion has fallen.
And Bucklad's streets now echo with the cries of those fleeing its destruction, and the bitter objections of those forced to take them in. And things seem likely only to get worse. Aetherfloods continue to swallow great swaths of the Republic, and it grows harder every day to disagree with those who say the end is nigh. But what is the end of the world as we know it, if not an opportunity to create a new one? Our work is only just
Crimson
beginning.
caravans must set an example.
We must use the skill, strength, and knowledge Theo and I earned over all those years to see that all who come here continue to be fed and watered. If there's nowhere left to run, then we must ensure that the place in which we find ourselves is a place of refuge for all.
It is our job to keep the hope alive.
If we don't, who else will?
Farewell.
Do you see that too?
Papa? What is it? Please. I'm scared.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
Oh, they didn't even aggro me that time, even though I ran right in front of them. Am I finally high enough? Oh, never mind.
It can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
Good luck. Oh, I didn't mean to do this, but okay. You guys get the overkill. You just melted that guy's face off with a laser.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either.
Byron!
And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Oh, Quentin. Well, that's good. Giving him a chance to go use his skills elsewhere too. I thought he was going to surprise the field marshal by bringing Byron. And then have them bicker some more.
Ready, girl?
No need to ride from here. Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold.
Hey, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following me.
Propose? You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
Ooh, meat pie would be
I
good,
know
please.
It's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Actually, I'll talk to you
Any
first.
statesmen we speak with are liable to resist our entreaties if they feel that what little power remains to them is at stake. They must be dealt with skillfully. I shall not repeat the errors of my past.
I'm glad they're bringing Quentin back into the... Well, actually, before we go back to the hideaway, I guess I might as well do this one too.
Good girl.
And we'll pick up some new quests when we're there.
entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
The one with the quest marker on it. Of course, silly Clive. Yeah, so this was that little town that I didn't enter when I passed by. Any chests around here? Ooh, there is. So I guess I'll just search everything. Royal Intelligencer Training Report. In the wake of the tragic fire at Caer Norwent in 673V and the subsequent depletion of our most highly practiced intelligencers, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training in clandestine maneuvers, improvised weaponry and assassination techniques, dispatch promising volunteers to Stonier for inspection. This report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick in reinvigorating Waloed's ranks of esteemed intelligencers.
This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks?
Intelligencer sounds like such a funny word. A complete botany of Banes. Etrifotida, or tail of wyvern. White of flower and black of roots, the latter of which gives out an inky gall when cut or crushed. The tribesmen of Northern Storm prick their skin with oaken needles soaked in such, drawing curious patterns about their arms and legs in honor of their heathen gods. The gall is passing toxicate, that a single drop taken by mouth may result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, or if applied to a wound, certain death. Should a slip of the needle end a young warrior's life, it is said that his skin print failed to find favor among the heavens.
His interests were certainly varied.
Oh, here it is. Oh, dang it. Does this mean I won't be able to read the other one? Maybe it'll still let me. From a distance. Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bears. The emergence of the first magic adepts were widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to be commonly known is most likely a contraction of Bearer of the Heavenly Blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by bears themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bears into positions of power in their own structures of state, they were mistrusting of an organization led by bears for bears. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meeting by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist the persecution, yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation, and decimated the population of men and bears both, the deluge of blood, that stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Velsian people. After the bears' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valencia came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, bears are other than human, has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed's only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Are the book police gonna come attack me now? The folklorist's fabulary, the Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valsian folktales than the humble Moogle, though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps. Most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They are said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, lest naught remains but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, excepting the small, dark wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yet there's one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow, the fact that the creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everyone knows that Mughals are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth, and in the case of the Mughal, the fact may be not so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustration beside the name, why, it is none other than the Mughal. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the twins of the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carry them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction, or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden away from human view. Wait, you don't have anything to say about that, Clive? You had something to say about every other book. Does it let me quick travel out? It doesn't. Okay, it wants me to encounter the book police, doesn't it? How would they have known that I came here and picked up a book?
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Ah, good one.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
I'd like to see you try.
Let's see, shall we?
Get out of here, book police. Ooh, clutch mines, I need those.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
Ooh, Minako taught me
Trying
that.
to control the truth.
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait.
How the heck you get the slip on me?
Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Well, I hope I don't lead the book police all the way back to the hideaway. I hope they haven't invented quick travel amongst themselves.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Porter's Alder as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Well, I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't have to see the actual meeting take place and they would just tell me everything went good and give me my reward.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
I knew the outlaw name was a bad idea. Should be like Sid the Righteous. Sid the very good guy. Sid the not outlaw.
Here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
I have seen fan art of bickering Byron with the organ.
Well,
oh good.
My boy, the stage is set.
They brought me back to the hideaway.
it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
That's nice.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to, but the Argo and me will be waiting when you get back.
What do you think that thing is?
It's a damn...
How the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
I'm just kind of curious which hideaway members are down here, because I hardly ever come down here anymore.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible.
Better watch out for the book
I feared
police.
The executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
If you've got something to ask, ask.
Trust you to go and pick a fight with a bleeding god. I didn't sign up for all this excitement, you know.
No.
Sid did say the higher-ups wouldn't be too happy about us trying to change the world. You got me there, and if ain't of us I got nothing or anything else better to do, so no more lip out of me. But it's that lip that keeps us on our toes, Otto.
Is that right?
Well, I better start looking for something else to moan about then, hadn't I? No one round here's bold enough or daft enough to say I'm fit for the knacker's yard, but I'm sure as hell ain't getting any younger.
Might be time to take a step back.
Let the fledglings spread their wings. Young Gott's as bright as the inside of a barrel, but his heart's in the right place, and his constant failures never seem to dim his spirits either. Reckon the same might have been said of me when I was his age.
If it weren't for Sid.
If it weren't for Sid giving me the room to fall and a hand to help me up, I never would have changed. It'd have been the Gotts leading the Gotts, Clive, assuming we made it this far.
I know you'll do right by us, Clive.
You're so funny, Kieran. Okay, let's accept these 3 quests.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother.
Our last dance with Ultima awaits. Only the Founder knows what awaits us up there.
Indeed.
Whatever we find, we shall overcome it. We will not do to disappoint our friends. They all believe in you, Clive. They would follow you to the ends of the earth if they could.
You're wrong.
My friends don't follow me. They spur me on. I couldn't have made it this far without them. Nor without you, Joshua. You gave me your blessing and made me your shield. Without you, I don't know how I would have even survived. But even when we were apart, you're always with me, and I trust you'll be with me now until the end.
Of course.
Whenever that may be.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How? Where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
No, I will not join you.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are. Back to Tabor then. Not to be reunited with Yote this time, but with Father.
Hey, Doris.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter.
But we locked her up.
Something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss.
Balmung
Even
Dark.
better for her. Bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Like, imagine how much actual back and forth travel time there is, like, in real time, without the quick travel. Like, every time Clive needs to go back to Waloed, or he comes back to the hideaway and then goes back, it's like, how many days does that take?
How long has it been since the jailers of Balmung abandoned their charges? Without food or water, they won't last long.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Cursebreakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Do we know him?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
Sounds reasonable.
So you happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Oh, it's interesting. We'll get some lore on how they, like, recruit Cursebreakers and test them.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Wait a second. I got another letter. but a green one. Wait, so I have another quest from there? I can only have three like set as active at a time. You know what? I'm gonna do them in. There's 3 left now. I'm gonna do them in that order.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
My beloved sons, I know that I ask much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all Rosaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way, it shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you. Your father.
An inheritance?
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
I know there's a quest here too, but I'm gonna save that one for later because we're doing them all systematically.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father The Archduke Elwyn entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Hey Lork, welcome to the stream. Envelo, welcome as well.
The griffin your father meant to slay is currently nesting in Titan's Wake, not far from here. Slay it in his stead, and claim the Heartstone that he could not.
I kind of feel bad for this griffin. This griffin has been tracked its entire life with the intent of someone to kill it and take something from its belly. Oh geez, this is long. Lord Cyril, acolytes stationed across Valsea report a curious change in the primeval structures we have come to refer as monoliths, following the fall of Drake's tail and the change in the skies. Allow me to present the preliminary findings of our archaeologians' investigations into those monoliths most near at hand. We were able to visually confirm the activation of the structure in the northern reaches of the Valcroy, but a sandstorm forced our temporary retreat. We will make a second attempt when the wind drops. In Dracosteep, our team was able to make direct contact with the monolith. However, no further change was observed upon touching its surface, nor upon dealing it several stout blows with both fist and blade. Whatever the purpose of its activation, it would appear to be other than that of defensive echoes we have encountered among previous relics of the Fallen and their predecessors. We shall continue our investigations both of the monoliths proper and of any historical writings that might refer to them, and inform your lordship forthwith should they produce any discoveries of note. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart. Tomage, Second Order of Archaeologians. So that's telling me where to go get those chronoliths, huh? Or at least a couple of them. First Order of Archaeologians, Dalmekian Wing, 53rd Monthly Report, Item 1. Further discoveries from our acolyte, ensconced within the recently displaced mountain dwellers' remote settlement. The diminutive tribe's main village appears to be in receipt of regular deliveries of supplies from Hugo Kupka's Men of the Rock. On inquiring with the locals, it became apparent that they have the deepest respect for the one they call Lord Kupka, but whether he has merely bought their loyalty or is there some deeper connection between the tribe and Titan remains unclear.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others, each working for their own ends. Why, not so very long ago, a society committed to discovering how one might cast magics without a catalyst was found to be operating throughout Valisthea. They were denounced as heretics, rooted out, and driven from our shores, never to be seen again.
You hear Lord Kupka and you think Lord Koopa.
His wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Okay, let's go slay this griffin. This poor griffin. So, does slaying this griffin give us enough materials for 2 armbands? I would expect each one would only have 1 heartstone, but I'm no griffin expert. Maybe 1 heartstone is enough for 2 armbands, I don't know. Oh, I thought this was a path. Oh, we're almost at the path. Oh, this is the path. Oh, hello.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is.
The House Rossfield. This
For House Rossfield. And the griffin's like, what did I ever do to House Rossfield?
Well done. This one.
It even has an attack called Kingslayer.
Over here. Sick 'em. Go for it. Get him.
Oh, come on. He was so close to breaking. It's about how annoying griffins are. Hey, June Plays! Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following me being a froggy friend. Also, it looks like my bot is suddenly working again today.
Farewell.
I don't know, I was trying to test my bot earlier today, and it still wasn't working, and now it suddenly decided to start working. Here I was about to replace it. Oh, he gave us 2 Heartstones. How very fitting.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
Oops. See, I don't think it's OBS. I think it's stream elements themselves. So that's why I was like, maybe I should just switch away from stream elements. But I guess maybe the threat of getting rid of it scared the bot into working.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And a Heartstone claimed.
In fact, we have 2! Maybe I should have read the flavor text on that, just out of curiosity.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame, it is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your Grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Godotha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Godotha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Godotha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning. I remain your faithful servant, my lord.
I like how the quest just... it changed the goal to exit the requiatory, which is literally right over here.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Crag?
There's more?
Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I mean, fair enough, it's more...
I suppose it would be churlish not to.
It's more than right for us to go visit his grave.
Should we pay Father a visit?
I think we should.
I thought it would take me like
Hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
3 hours to do all these side quests. It might take me 4.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril.
These are all really good side quests, though.
Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Especially the Torgal one. The Torgal one was really good.
Come on.
Faster!
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped.
Oh, it's down there.
Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
Normally I would just jump down, but I wouldn't do that to you, Ambrosia.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down. Onward then. Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Josh is gonna need a haircut if he wants the helmet to fit. Well, luckily for us, I guess we're just gonna keep it in Clive's room. What about the armbands, though? It'd be cool if they actually, like, were an accessory that you can equip. Oh. Oh, joining hands with Joshua. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Oh. Well, maybe I should have done this side quest first. Does Jill get a similar treatment? Well, we know what the answer to that is. Okay, I have to go to Northreach, and I also need to go to... Oh, right, I need to go to... here. Oh, this is the arena that I ran into. Oh, the armbands are my accessories? Let's have a look. What do they do? Does it power up my Phoenix move or something? Well, I don't have them. Yeah, because they put all the new ones at the top. Maybe it's a new game plus thing? Wait, no. Maybe it's not an accessory. Oh. The Founder's Grasp. Fashioned after those pictured adoring the wrists of the mythical founder in ancient engravings, Archduke Elwyn intended to gift these bands to his beloved sons upon their coming of age. They might serve to remind them of the unbreakable bonds they share as proud scions of the ducal line, and the unwavering devotion that would be required to see their duty done. Well, good, I don't have to upgrade my... I had like another armband I was going to upgrade, but I can save my materials then.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
Thank you for the stretch, Kieran.
All right. No need to ride from here.
Well, I guess I have to kill these bombs lest I lead them straight to Doris. Ooh, nice laser.
There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not.
Oh, sorry to cut you off there, Clive. You were talking.
Locked up tight.
I see you around the corner. Too bad you can't, like, stealth kill things. Oh, nice level up. I know Doris said she'd take the top floor, but can I actually go up there? Oh, I can. Okay, I'll do my job. Recommendation concerning Kuza beast deployment. The Kuza has long been recognized as an especially aggressive species. This being the case, it was hoped that successful deployment on the battlefield might be a means of inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. In exercises conducted thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguishing between allied and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. It is proposed instead the bear captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus, and the beast then driven into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit, with minimal loss of Waluder lives.
Minimal loss of Waluder lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
Hey, Spider Lily, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following me and being a froggy friend. What's this? Memorandum on Kuza beast feeding. Recent supply shortages left us with insufficient resources to feed the Kuza entrusted to our care. Fortunately, the creature was observed to kill and consume the bears assigned to fight beside it in a mock battle conducted as part of its training. The beast was further observed to enter a state of visible contentment upon feeding, in this way suggesting that live bears may even be its preferred source of sustenance. While this behavior is unexpected, it is not unwelcome. Bears no longer of use for training purposes can now be repurposed as required.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared.
Okay, I guess now we go upstairs. Oh, there's something out there. Okay, Clive, you can knock down most doors, but you can't open that. Oh, hello.
No sign of any bearers yet. I hope you have better luck downstairs.
Yeah, about that, doors. Hey, Endless Moonfall. Welcome to the stream. Do they want me to jump down here? Oh wait, no, that's where this is where I began. Then, okay. Oh, the quest marker isn't actually out there in the center, it was just showing me the center of the circle. Oh, there was something else over here, I missed it. Balmung Dark. Writ of designation. The Kingdom of Waloed hereby designates this facility a prison for the detainment of bears, both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train Akuza beasts for deployment in the field. The aforementioned purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and any mention thereof is to be punishable by death. Captive bears have been provided solely for the perusal of the aforementioned purpose. Express permission is required for use of bears in any other capacity.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have to fight it.
Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents, and it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment. If we don't find any survivors, we've risked our lives for nothing. Take care. That creature might still be here somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if I had to fight it. Clive, can you just please sprint?
Let's see what we can find down here.
Clive's too polite to sprint indoors. Yeah, it's because he's the son of a duke. He knew this the whole time.
A survivor. And she sounds close.
It sounded like very soft crying, so it sounds like it should have come from here. But I think it's from down here, but then there's no way I should have been able to hear it.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground. I'll look after the girl. You teach that thing a lesson.
Oh, that is a big one.
You're safe now. We won't let it hurt you.
That's a behemoth.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Well, I have Joshua with me. Joshua, remember the last behemoth we slew together? Can you summon meteors? Oh, you're considered a hunt. Interesting.
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Ah! How would I compare FF16 to 15? I would say it's not even a comparison. I do not like 15. There's very few things about 15 I like, so 16 pretty much does everything that 15 wishes it could have done. As in, be a good game. His football tackle move is so funny looking. Nice. Take that, you big blue bastard.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
Oh no, did she see Chadwick's body?
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
Oh, are they teleporting me back to the hideaway?
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Oh, she didn't give. I was expecting her to give me something to display in my room. Oh, a new letter went to my chambers. Okay. Well, I want to finish this quest first. Since we have so many side quests, I want to do them all in little groups.
Azure might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
I'm nervous.
Well met, Sid. This is the Initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The Sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
Okay, but this is a side quest for me. What do I have to do?
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way.
Okay, I'll go baby him.
All right, Ember. Impress me.
Even now, the capital has moved. The Empire keeps the watchtowers overlooking royal meadows and the Sea of Grace manned. But only by a skeleton crew. It's a trial, not a death sentence.
Where are you, Ambrosia? Oh, there you are.
Faster!
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not.
JK.
Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword! I can't! Then run!
If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Get him! This one! Over here! Get him!
Dang it, I missed my chance. How does Garuda's playstyle work? You get a big grabby hand that lets you become like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, where you grab people and you pull them towards yourself.
Ember, are you...
What if he used my battle with the Evis as the distraction?
Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it
Like
is
he
then.
tricked me into fighting the Evis to attract everyone's attention. Hey Aru, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming by. What if Ember's smarter than we made him out to be? What if he knew that I was gonna come help him?
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Hey? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then, his heir. And he did it all on his own.
Well, not technically on his own, but...
He did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
He was so proud of it too. He's like, I did it! I chickened out of the fight and made Sid fight it.
This won't be an easy decision.
There's something about him.
You should have...
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not.
Does Ember deserve passing marks? Technically, he followed the rules.
Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half.
A conch and a half.
Wouldn't to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
You couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things really do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you. Sid, I wanted you to know. I will be taking personal responsibility for Ember's combat training. And I will not let you down.
Actually, I'm curious if Taria has anything to say.
Feeling ill? And no sooner have your wounds mended.
Then you find an excuse to go charging once more into the breach. But only because my wounds are mended, thanks to the expert administrations of the best healer on this side of the belt. Save your honey tongue for Jill. You're talking about killing a god, Clive.
I may not have Gav's nose.
I know danger when I smell it, and this plan reeks to high heaven. This will be the last time, I promise.
That's what I'm worried about.
You fool, don't you think I'd rather stitch 1,000 of your cuts than never stitch one again?
I do.
Thank you.
What I'd truly like
is to share my knowledge of healing and herb lore with the realm. Every cure seems like a miracle to the child who knows nothing of medicine.
teach her medicine.
And suddenly a world without miracles doesn't seem so frightening.
Take care.
Oh, Ed is here.
Thank you, my lord, for taking me in. Everyone here has been so kind. It reminds me of home.
See, like, I understand why they don't voice act everything in the game, but why did they choose to just do, like, the dialogue when you talk to someone and there's options, and yet they voice act every other little line that people say? Like, surely... I know you gotta cut corners where you got to, but it just seems a little weird sometimes. Because literally everything else is voice acted.
What do you think happened to Miss Middledore?
Oh, there's a quest up there. I thought it was the weird bag man who had a quest for me over here.
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes, but that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Middledore. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stoneir.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Middeldore's inventions. Don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't
So this is all my fault?
But who's gonna put Miss Middledore back together? She seems really sad.
Well, excuse me for saving the world.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
Miss Shirley says we're not allowed in the dungeon. But Miss Middledore doesn't mind.
Book of Sums. Old farmer Otto keeps both chocobos and antelopes. After 5 of his stock fell ill, he put them in his barn to rest. However, Otto woke the next morn to discover that a leg-eater had found its way into the barn and devoured 3 of the limbs on one of his antelopes. To make certain all remaining legs were accounted for, he did a tally and was satisfied when he counted 13. Question: how many chocobos were in the barn? Interesting.
Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if her godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordill. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Okay, well, she only asked me for 2 things. I thought she was going to ask me for 3, and I'd be like, whoa there, Missy, that's way too much.
Make an oil down at the docks in Ordill that's as slippery as the sea nasties they render it from. With that and the bone I told you about, I shall be able to finish the prototype.
I'll see what I can do.
Has Mitadol mentioned a new project?
I totally forgot this area existed. I only came here like on the first day we were in the hideaway, and then I never came back.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now, and I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage. The Badbach Conservatory.
Badbach.
Or rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous care. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
You are a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please. Even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. but not for me. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vie de Grace. Hidden in a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers guide you.
Clive already has a bad back from carrying the party entire time through the whole game. Me too. Me too. He has a bad back because his titties are huge AF.
Alright, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm. Any ideas?
Thanks for the stretch, Kieran.
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old
Look at
adamantus
Otto
do?
looking at over Sid's
Shells,
shoulder.
The older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Old Bidza. Or what's left of the village anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Aru, thank you so much for calling Kirby and the Kirby lip sync. Hey, Golden Gentleman, welcome to the stream. I really hope there's only one quest in my letterbox. Wait, you have a quest now, Gav. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, fine.
You alright?
Hey, Goldie, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming by.
About that.
If there's anything I could help you kill this Ultima bloke, you just say the word, eh? You could promise to take Sid's name off my hands.
Aye.
I have a joke about that. Anyway, I thought you said you hadn't finished with it yet. I didn't I? Now, you want to give me an even grander title, something to rival your Sid the Outlaw, that'd be a different story.
Let's see.
Gav the Magnificent? Gav the Almighty? Gav the Lionheart? Something along those lines. I'll leave that to you to decide. I'm sure you're more than capable of choosing the perfect moniker for Sid's right-hand man. Right-hand man, eh? I'll take it.
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
Aw, that's cute.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Eda's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need. A feather.
Can't you just
That or
get a
the
white
bird
feather
whose
from
paws
Ambrosia?
it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Just use a white feather from Ambrosia. I know it's not silver, but come on. Surely that's good luck.
Can't say I've ever seen a silver chocobo myself, but I have seen one of their feathers. Look just like a normal one, only silver, obviously. Well, grey.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up killing an entire silver chocobo just for a single feather. Okay, obtain oil from Aldil. Defeat a desert Tor in Korava. Okay, I went too far. Ooh. Gimme. Yoink.
It's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough.
Okay, let's go get that turtle.
Run like the wind. Here we are again. Korava. If you were a tortoise, Torgor, where would you hide?
I like how he asks Torgal instead of Joshua. I mean, I know because Joshua's with us because of a quest, so he's doesn't have any speaking roles.
It looks like we found him. This one.
I thought he was done his attack. I was waiting for him to make the first move.
Nice try.
Oh, he spat something at me. Goodbye, turtle.
I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Okay, so I've got the stuff from Mid. Speak with merchants in Martha's Rest, and then I also need to go to the Bad Bach.
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
All right.
Oh, darn it. That's what I get for beelining straight towards the marker. Again, aren't they worried that Ambrosia might turn Akashic? Same with Torgal. I mean, I know Torgal has the power of Fenrir, but the first time that we encountered an Ether Flood, we didn't know that yet. And we were just fine with him being with us. Oh. Conditioning schedule. Today's exercises will consist of the press yard, 20 sandbags for such duration an instructor shall dictate. The furnace, burn intensity to be gradually increased. Live combat, 1 to 3 hellhounds depending on performance.
Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture.
Adbach Conservatory, Writ of Incorporation. The Kingdom of Wellud hereby incorporates this institution wherein juvenile bearers are to be granted the opportunity to give themselves in service to the state as soldiers. Trainees succumbing to the crystal's curse or otherwise perishing are to be disposed of with all haste. The graveyard is strictly reserved for the uncursed. Bearer disposal within its bounds is punishable by death.
Disposed of? Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that registry.
I recently learned that my own daughter was among the children turned to stone by the brutal training I subjected them to. I had not so much as a thought of her since handing her over to the authorities as a babe, but inquiries with the military confirmed it. It was her. I had been torturing my own flesh and blood. Now I see her everywhere. Today one of the children smiled at me in hope of receiving a few scraps from my table. It was her smile, the smile she inherited from her mother, the mother I killed for giving birth to a bearer. Their ghosts have all come back to haunt me. My daughters, my wife's, all of them. All those children. So many have died at my hand. I can bear the guilt no longer, and so I have decided. Tomorrow I too must die. It will be the last order I give those poor wretches, the last torment I subject them to. I will command them to tear me limb from limb, and inter my accursed corpse beneath the white tree whose crooked hands reach the sky in supplication. Beside me my shame, my curse, the record of all their names, and those I have wronged.
This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out.
Which gravestone is it?
A forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry.
Add back conservatory, registry of bearer losses.
So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. But where is the architect of all this misery?
Well, hi. How do you sneak up on me?
It was only a matter of time, I suppose.
Of course there had to be battling in this quest.
This place is cursed.
Yeah, Joshua, weren't you supposed to watch my back? Ow. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Ooh, more clutch mines, thank you.
I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
Time to go find us a silver chocobo. And probably kill it.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first to mention the bird around here. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo. Near some gutted hovel, not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but who knows? Perhaps there was some truth to his tale.
We'll see. Thank you.
Well, they want me to talk to more people.
Anything catch your eye? Thanks very much.
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin it, don't
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Vicerine.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find. No one has seen a silver chocobo for years. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bones.
Their little snort.
If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway.
So if there's any out there, you shouldn't kill them because they're endangered. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Mm-hmm.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Can I help you with something?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon's Ride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
I'm telling you, a white one would do just as well. Just pluck one right off of Ambrosia. Besides, Gav only has one eye. How could he tell? Oops. I thought that was a dismount. I didn't want to trigger the blossom over there. Oh, he's just in this general vicinity, okay.
Tracks. They're not left by bandits for a change.
Are they going this way or are they going the opposite direction? Do I really have to kill this poor bird that just wants to survive
More tracks.
and is endangered?
And these look fresh. A chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is.
Oh no, what if he's hurt inside this hut?
I don't hear anything.
Oh! This seems suspicious. You left me a single gleaming feather right next to his nest.
Well, I'll be damned.
Work. Or am I gonna have to defend it from something? That'd be more pleasant. Oh. Oh, I don't want to kill you. You have a family.
It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend.
Oh, good.
Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
Aw. Okay, well that's good. That side quest is easier than I thought.
It was no trouble.
I see you two are bonding.
Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
Crystal's crack. Is this what I think it is?
Crystal's crack.
Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
It's a long story. I walked into the forest and found a feather and picked it up and left.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
Chocobos living in a house thinking they're people.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Now will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
I don't want Gav to give up being a scout, honest.
I don't suppose you're here to reprise the Saint and the Sectary. Do you know why?
I chose to call it the Triunity, Clive. You may be too young to remember, but this isn't the first time an alliance has struck twixt the nations of Storm.
20 summers past.
That your father petitioned both the Empire and the Republic to join hands with the Duchy, that we might work to mutual advantage in defiance of the Blight. And they for their part embraced the notion, or so we believed. Little did we know that the peace Elwyn had worked so hard to secure would be ground beneath the heel of one we least suspected.
Your mother, the Duchess.
In one fell swoop, Annabella robbed us of everything. A nation, a leader, a brother, a father.
Above all,
she robbed us of what could have been, a realm undivided. Elwyn's grand design.
and so you see.
Why I chose to call our new alliance the Triunity, for with it we aim to preserve not only peace but a lasting legacy of cooperation.
Well, don't do anything I wouldn't.
I thought I saw another quest spring up. Oh hey Yote, you're here.
Yes, my lord? His Grace and I.
I often spoke on our travels, and a certain saying of his remains with me even now. Duty is the enemy of freedom.
At first.
I thought he spoke of his own plight, that though he was able to roam the land again, his duty to unearth the truth about Ultima prevented him from being truly free. But I came to understand he spoke not of himself, but of me.
It was my duty to him.
That his Grace judged to be inimical to my own freedom. I believe that is why he bade me remain here, that I might be at last released from my duty to him. Few others in his position would allow the cares of a humble attendant to weigh so heavily upon them, nor take such drastic action in response.
My lord.
You resolved to go, then?
I am.
And so is Joshua. I know you fear for him, but I'll do anything in my power to keep him safe.
I do not doubt it.
You are, as always have been, his first shield. I was only ever his temporary protector, Now his grace has bade me to protect the hideaway instead, and that is what I shall do.
Thank you, Yurte.
May you return safely.
My lord, both of you.
I prithee do not risk yourself unduly.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is,
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did. Aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, me lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced.
No, I need to go report to Mid, and she's closer to the infirmary. Don't bring me back over to the tavern. I'm surprised I haven't done any quests for the lady who runs the tavern. I mean, I did a quest for Molly, but not for this, the head waitress. For server.
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
It's an actual cutscene.
Eda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over. What with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls.
Aw, Gav.
I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand.
Not like that Amber
Your
fellow.
resourcefulness, your courage, your determination. I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
Clive is never gonna let go of the hang off a cliff thing, is he?
That was only the once.
He's mentioned it like 4 times
learn
since.
from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword.
Well, that's not what I was getting at, but... Aw. An actual cutscene.
I may have had one too many.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
I know. not a you're welcome. Not a no thank you. It's just I know. I said I was thirsty, Gav.
One of these days. One of these days, I swear it's gonna be me who drinks you under the table.
If by under the table you mean retching on my boots half the night, I reckon one of those days was yesterday.
Ha ha, you think you're so funny. But just wait till we crack open the bottle I left in your chambers. That stuff's strong enough to burn the horns off a behemoth.
Sounds like I'll be needing some new boots.
Oh, talking to him actually made him run off.
Do you think they'll come back?
That was heartwarming. You know, when we first met Gav, I thought he'd just be another, like, throwaway NPC. I didn't think he'd end up being so important. I just wish he was in the party more. I know he's a scout, but every time we're with him, he's like, I'll just go ahead and meet you there. But it'd be nice if he fought with us more, because he did fight with us a couple times.
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
Clive's angry.
Most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make.
Seriously?
And I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
Seriously?
wait. The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear.
That I forgot to put back.
They didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The humans? But why would the... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
I like how he's like, when they put it back together.
Don't look at me like that, Clive. I already apologised to Blackthorn. Miserable old bugger. Besides, you can't expect me to keep track of every nut and nail floating about this place. It's a mess.
Yeah, Clive's just a big softie, even though he looks like a big, rugged, tough man. I like that. Oh, there's another. I never read this, did I? Oh, jeez. The Heroes 3, Edita RR. This is the tale of 3 gallant knights, Lady Ameth the Brave, Sir Arturius the Bold, and Sir Jos the Brazen, who trained in cunning by the fabled architect Midolphus, and armed with the arcane knowledge imparted upon them by their benevolent headmistress, Charlayan of the Seven Stars, embarked on an epic journey from their home, hidden deep within the towering sepulchres of drowned Lichyard and out into the untamed wild. A journey that would see them defend the weak, rescue the ailing, uplift the downtrodden, and vanquish the darkness that had once again taken root in their land, just as the great outlaw Sidwin had done before them. Huh? She wrote a story about them. Oh. Jump.
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales.
Watch them be like, we threw it out.
The one you forgot! We remember!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Watch them be like, we thought it was trash because you didn't use it, so we threw it away.
We've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find.
All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
I like how Mid was just like, oh, I need a cogwheel, small size. Didn't specify like how big the teeth need to be, didn't specify like what it needs to be made of or anything. She just needs a tiny cogwheel.
We've got screws and bolts and nails and knobbles and noodles and
A noodle, please. I would like your finest noodle.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project? Well, did they have it?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
Also, last time we saw that
Exactly what are you going
cogwheel,
to use it for?
I wouldn't call it tiny,
Probably the
just
most important job of all.
small.
The wings aren't going to move on their own, but with the right cog in the right place, well, you just wait and see.
Oh, she made a miniature.
That should do it.
She invented the wind-up airship minion.
Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes, children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, Got the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out.
That sounds like a horrible idea. Or the greediest dreamers will find it.
I can picture it now.
Or one of them will get misplaced and then no one will be able to complete it.
Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
And then whoever finds it just has to make the decision for themselves whether to use it for war or not. You're just delaying the inevitable, Mid. I think your heart's in the right place, but
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
that was sweet. We got a cutscene with Mid. Oh, she gave me her model airship.
What shall I do with your model? You spent a lot of time on it. We both did.
What, that old thing? Not healthy to cling to your failures, Clive. They'll weigh you down, you know.
Sound advice.
Still, I suppose my prototypes will probably be worth a fair bit when I'm as famous as Bart's the Builder. Seeing as you're always strapped for coin, suppose I can give it to you. Just make sure you get a good price when you do come to part with it.
I'd say that was up to you as much as me.
You're not leaving already, are you?
Unluckily for you, I'm a hoarder and I'm gonna keep it forever. Couldn't you have chosen somewhere a bit more down to earth for your chat with Ultima? Then I could have come with you, finally made a name for myself instead of sitting on my arse while his Imperial Fancy Pants gets all the glory.
Make a name for yourself.
Without the Enterprise, we wouldn't have saved Jill. Wouldn't have made it to Ash, wouldn't have escaped from Stonier with our lives. None of this would have been possible had you not followed your dream and kept your promise to Sid. Now I must keep mine.
You better bloody I'd do and all.
Or I'll be having his name back. Give it to Gav, maybe, or Jill. Aye, definitely Jill.
Enjoy it while you can, Clive.
Because once that crystal's cracked, I'm going through with my plan. Won't be easy turning my back on a dream I chased for so long. But you know what the best thing about dreams is, Clive? They're never in short supply. We keep talking like I'm the only one ever to have set her sights on the skies, when there might be someone up there already.
Imagine that, eh?
Maybe when his Imperial Fancy Pants gets back, I can ask him to take me up there so I can see for myself.
Till then, though.
I'll be down here with everyone else dreaming away.
Try, Clive.
She calls Dion Prince Fancy Pants.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project?
I hear that you traveled to Ash, Cid. Did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did. Yes.
If I may, the bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Nor any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost. My friends. My light in those dark times. I can still remember their faces, like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you, Cid. I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering. And in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you. The realm will hear of Badbach. And I pray that the tale of my fallen friends will spare future generations the horror we endured. Thank you for helping keep their memory alive.
Okay. Let's go check my letters. There's at least one side quest in that stack of letters. If not more. And then we have 3 side quests to do outside of the hideaway.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen our hound gone bare.
Is there out you need?
I wish I could go up there with you. It doesn't seem right leaving everything up to you 3.
It's hardly everything.
There's plenty that still needs to be done down here. Like seeing to our stores and keeping Karen safe. Only you could do that, Goots.
And I will. I promise.
I won't let Nan come to harm no matter what.
You can count on me.
Just like we're all counting on you to come back safe and sound.
Be careful out there.
Is this kid still... Oh, this was the kid that was playing with the... like the chicken earlier.
I did it, Cid. I made friends with all the animals in the hideaway. But you know what I'd really like? My own goblin. Or maybe a marble. Or a bomb. Only if it was a big one. That or a bandercurl, but not a cactuar. They're too prickly.
Actually, come to mention, I have not seen a Cactuar in this game. I'm going this way. Hey Kiefer, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by today. Ah, 2 quests. Fine. The 2 of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot you have to learn about that hound of yours. He'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you, but that doesn't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of kupo nuts. You do good to remember that. Karen. Master Clive, I am aware that there are matters of much greater import which demand your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves that I might ask a single favor concerning His Highness, Prince Dion, Hippocrates. Oh good, so Dion does get a side quest.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
Clive, it occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for reuniting me with from a distance. The tome made me who I am today, and yet I thought that I should never set eyes upon it again. That those who took it from me had forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now I am whole again thanks to you. I regret that I could only fill the gaps in your knowledge, and not the holes in your soul, for which reason I shall ever be by your debt. Or, which reason I shall ever be in your debt. Vivian. Bringing together 3 men from differing backgrounds was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did for a better Valsthea. The triunity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all, one that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You have paved that road for us with your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle, Byron. Hey Lace, welcome to the stream! Thanks for coming by. Thank you so much for this leave the stream, I appreciate it. My beloved sons, I know that I ask much of you in this coming year, but I see no other way to secure a future for your— Wait, is this just the same— Oh, this is just the same thing that I already read. Well, thank you so much for the stretch, Lace. Good reminder for everyone to take the time to stretch. Okay, I already read this during the quest when we got it. Concern for Jill, though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on our heart. We would be poor friends indeed if we do not seek to lighten that burden, but even only a fraction before we depart for the skies. I would speak on this more in private. Joshua. Oh, I bet doing this quest makes it so that Jill follows me around until we go up to Origin, right?
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Rosaria sits on my shoulders, the fate of its dominance sits upon yours. But are we not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Shall I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield, now let me choose to be yours. Is this not what our father wanted? What Sid wanted? To cast aside fate and forge our own paths. Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. Joshua. Yeah, I like seeing the signatures on the letters. It's cute.